Meet Mittens the mighty cat. Mittens the cat was no ordinary feline. He was a cat with a mission, a purpose, and a dream that was larger than life itself. Oh no, this cat had paws of fury. His paws were like tiny, furry fireballs, always ready to strike with precision and power. He was quick, he was clever, and he had a right hook that could send a cat toy flying across the room. His agility was unmatched, and his speed was a blur to the naked eye. When Mittens wasn't napping in sunbeams or chasing after laser pointers, he was training for his big dream. He dedicated every waking moment to perfecting his skills, always pushing himself to be better. Mittens wanted to be an Olympic boxer. It was a dream that many thought impossible for a cat, but not for Mittens. He believed in himself and his abilities. He would jump rope with his tail, a skill that took months to master. His tail moved with the grace and precision of a seasoned athlete. Shadow box with his reflection, imagining himself in the ring with the greatest boxers of all time. Each punch he threw was a step closer to his dream, and even spar with the neighbor's dog, who was actually quite scared of his tiny paws. Despite the dog's fear, they shared a bond of friendship and mutual respect. Everyone knew Mittens was destined for greatness. His determination and hard work were evident to all who saw him train. The neighborhood cheered him on, believing in his dream as much as he did. He was going to be a champion. Mittens could already see himself holding the championship belt, the crowd roaring in approval. He was going to be the boxing cat of the century. His name would go down in history, inspiring cats everywhere to chase their dreams, no matter how big or small. Across the jungle gym and over the monkey bars lived Bobo, a baboon with a bounce in his step and a twinkle in his eye. Bobo wasn't just any ordinary baboon. He had a zest for life that was unmatched. Every morning, as the sun peeked through the dense jungle canopy, Bobo would be the first to greet it with his playful antics. He would swing from vine to vine, his laughter echoing through the trees, bringing joy to all the jungle creatures. Bobo loved to swing, he loved to play, and boy did he love to box. Boxing wasn't just a hobby for Bobo, it was a passion. He had discovered his love for boxing one day when he stumbled upon an old pair of boxing gloves left behind by a traveler. From that day on, Bobo practiced diligently, perfecting his jabs and hooks. The jungle gym became his training ground, and the other animals often gathered to watch his impressive moves. His punches were as unpredictable as a banana peel on a roller skate. One moment he'd be delivering a perfect uppercut, and the next he'd be slipping and sliding in the most comical fashion. But that was Bobo's charm. His unpredictability kept everyone on their toes, and his playful spirit made every match a delight to watch. Even when he stumbled, he did it with such flair that it was impossible not to cheer for him. He was a whirlwind of playful energy and a real contender in the ring. Bobo's energy was infectious. He moved with a speed and agility that left his opponents bewildered. His training sessions were a sight to behold, with Bobo darting around, throwing punches and dodging imaginary foes. The jungle gym echoed with the sounds of his enthusiastic grunts and the rhythmic thud of his gloves hitting makeshift punching bags. Bobo had heard tales of a tough cat who dreamed of Olympic glory. This cat, known as Whiskers, was said to be the best boxer in the neighboring jungle. Whiskers had a reputation for being fierce and determined, with a dream of one day competing in the Olympics. The stories of Whiskers' prowess intrigued Bobo, and he often found himself daydreaming about a match between them.
A boxing cat? Now that's a worthy opponent. Bobo's eyes would light up at the thought of facing Whiskers. The idea of a match between a baboon and a cat was both thrilling and amusing. It was the ultimate test of his skills, and Bobo was eager to prove himself. He imagined the crowd cheering, the adrenaline pumping, and the thrill of the fight.
He knew this was his chance to prove he was the best, to show everyone that he had what it took to be a champion. Bobo trained harder than ever, pushing himself to new limits. He visualized the match, strategizing his moves and preparing for every possible scenario. The jungle gym became his arena, and every swing, jump, and punch was a step closer to his goal: to show the world that even a silly baboon could be a boxing champion. Bobo's journey was about more than just winning a match. It was about proving that with determination, passion, and a bit of playful spirit, anyone could achieve greatness. As he stood in the ring, gloves on and heart pounding, Bobo knew that this was his moment. The world was watching and he was ready to shine. News spread like wildfire through the animal kingdom. A cat and a baboon were going to the Olympics. Could you imagine? It was the talk of the jungle, the buzz of the savannah, and the chatter of the bird bath. Everyone was excited to see these two unlikely athletes go paw to paw in the ring. The big day arrived and the stadium was packed. Lions roared, monkeys hooted, and parrots squawked their support. The energy was electric. Mittens in his custom-made boxing gloves and Bobo sporting his lucky banana print shorts entered the ring. The crowd went wild. Ding ding! The bell rang and the match began. The atmosphere was electric, with the crowd on the edge of their seats, eagerly anticipating the showdown between two unlikely contenders. Mittens, light on his feet, darted around the ring. His movements were swift and graceful, almost like a dance. He had trained hard for this moment, and his agility was on full display. Bobo bobbed and weaved, his long arms moving like elastic bands. His unique style was both mesmerizing and intimidating. Bobo's experience in the ring was evident as he effortlessly avoided Mittens' initial attacks. Mittens threw a paw full of jabs, but Bobo dodged them all with a playful giggle. The cat's determination was clear, but Bobo's reflexes were just too quick. The audience watched in awe as the two boxers showcased their skills. Then, Bobo launched a flurry of punches, but Mittens, quick as a whisker, slipped under them. The cat's agility was truly remarkable, and he managed to avoid every punch with ease. The crowd's excitement grew with each passing second. The crowd gasped, then cheered. What a match. The energy in the arena was palpable, and everyone was on their feet, cheering for their favorite boxer. The match was turning into a spectacle that no one would forget. It was a flurry of fur and fun. The two boxers moved with such speed and precision that it was hard to keep up. The ring was filled with the sounds of punches landing and the occasional playful banter between Mittens and Bobo. Who would have thought a cat and a baboon could box with such silliness and skill? Their unique styles and playful attitudes made the match not only entertaining, but also a testament to their training and dedication. This was turning out to be the most entertaining Olympic event ever. The audience was treated to a display of athleticism, humor, and heart. As the match continued, it became clear that this was more than just a boxing match. It was a celebration of the unexpected and the extraordinary. Section 5, a slippery situation. Round 2 started with a bang, or rather a splat. Bobo, in his excitement, had slipped on a stray banana peel. How did that even get there? And landed in a heap. The crowd held their breath. Was he hurt? But Bobo was quick to recover, jumping up with a playful grin. He even did a little dance, shaking his tail feathers to the delight of the crowd. This baboon was simply too much fun. Even Mittens had to chuckle. Section 6, a feathery surprise. Suddenly, a flock of pigeons flew into the stadium, creating a flurry of feathers and chaos. The crowd erupted in laughter as the pigeons swooped and soared, disrupting the match completely. Mittens, ever the agile feline, climbed onto the ropes, while Bobo, with his long arms, tried to catch the playful birds. It was pure pandemonium. The commentator, a very flustered flamingo, could hardly contain himself. This was turning out to be the most unpredictable boxing match in Olympic history. Section 7, the final round. After much feather dusting and banana peel sweeping, the final round commenced. Both athletes were tired but determined. Mittens, with a burst of energy, landed a series of quick jabs. Bobo, not to be outdone, countered with his signature move, the banana splits punch, a flurry of blows so fast they left the crowd seeing double. The tension was palpable. Who would win? The crowd held its breath, their eyes glued to the ring. Finally, the bell rang, signaling the end of the match. It was a draw. Section 8, and the winner is... The judges huddled, their faces serious as they tallied their scores. The crowd waited with bated breath. Finally, the announcer, his voice booming through the stadium, declared, "It's a tie!" The crowd erupted. A tie! It was the perfect ending to the most unusual and hilarious boxing match the Olympics had ever seen. Section 9, sharing the victory, sharing the snacks. Mittens and Bobo, both panting and grinning, embraced in the middle of the ring. They had fought hard, they had entertained the world, and now they were sharing a well-deserved victory. As the cameras flashed, Bobo pulled out a bunch of bananas from, well, nobody knows where he was keeping them. and offered one to Mittens. Mittens, in return, presented Bobo with a toy mouse, a token of their newfound friendship. Section 10. A friendship forged in boxing gloves. From that day forward, Mittens the cat and Bobo the baboon were the best of friends. They learned that competition didn't have to be about winning or losing, but about having fun, respecting your opponent, and sharing a good laugh. They taught everyone that friendship and sportsmanship were more important than any gold medal. After all, what's better than winning? Winning with a friend by your side. Section 11. The real gold medal friendship. So, the next time you're watching a competition, remember Mittens and Bobo. Remember that the real prize isn't always the trophy or the medal, but the friendships we make and the fun we have along the way. Because in the game of life, friendship is always a win-win.